Welcome to Camp BugStopper video lesson. I'm Jeff Annis. This is Bo Thomas. Proud to say that Bo Thomas is the head of operations for Advanced Services and for Team BugStopper. And I guess a little over 21 or 22 years ago, Bo decided he wanted to be a bug man. The other day we were talking about hiring, and I said to you how happy I was with how well you and Justin were doing with hiring new talent for the tech team. You're kind of burdened that you have somewhere around 50 to 60,000 stops a year, and they perform about 75,000 separate service tickets in a 12-month period. And that's a lot of moving parts, and things can go wrong, and so we have to be very particular about who we hire. And I was asking you about that, and you said something that I want you to explain to the listeners. You said, we're making the hard choices.
Right, I remember that. When you're looking at candidates, there comes a time that there's certain candidates that are just, they're one way or the other. They're like, man, this guy is the best. I cannot get him on my team fast enough.
Right.
And then there's other candidates that are like, we're not the right fit for you. But then there's the candidates that are right down the middle. Those are the ones that are really the tough choice. You have to decide on whether or not they might come in with some experience, but when you're interviewing them and the questions, the way that they're answering them, you can see that they don't fit your company culturally, but you need somebody trying to get those stops done. So you got somebody with experience, you need somebody out there getting those stops done, but when you're interviewing them, they don't sound like they quite line up with how you run your business. Those are the tough choices. Bringing them on board when you shouldn't causes you a lot more hard choices down the road. So making that hard choice up front is a whole lot easier.
When I talk to lots of other pest management companies and other industries that I work with as business advisor, I hear them constantly say that their biggest problem is finding great candidates and then being able to attract them to their company. And I know that that's hard because we have so many rules about what it takes to come to work here. But it seems like we don't have the tardy problems, the absenteeism, we don't have the presenteeism where they come to work but they're not really engaged in their work. We don't seem to have that, but I constantly hear other people with problems like that. How do you pick so that they're the ultra reliable type? When
you're interviewing them, you have to really listen to what their response is, and if they don't fit your company or what you think, what you value, your core values, you got to pass. Because if you don't, you bring them on and you basically bring on you bring on all of their problems, and then you end up having to try to fix them. A lot of times you can't even do that, and then you have the hard problem of, now I have this person, they don't fit my core values, they normally don't perform the way that you thought that they would, and now you have the problem of, I'm going to have to make the hard choice and let them go. I think it's always best to have a second opinion. I'm fortunate enough to where there's two of us in the interview process so that we can break the interview down. But if you're in question, absolutely interview them again. Maybe have them come in, do some job shadowing. See if, try to get them to where you see them not necessarily in the interview process, because that's the best you're going to see them, right, is at that point. Right. So, there's a lot of things like that we try to do to make sure that we're making those right choices.
Well, thanks so much, Bo. You do a great job, and we have statistics that show that we are among the nation's leaders out of 20,000 plus companies when it comes to retaining our customers. And this wouldn't be possible if you weren't somehow able, you and Justin and the rest of the team, to come together to serve all these customers the way you do. And thanks for that. I appreciate you stick with the team.
Yeah.
So go to campbugstopper.com and check us out and sign up for our blog. We offer a lot of good things here, including you can request our $0 to $1 million booklet about our first 10 years from 1986 to 1996.